NFL fans, welcome back to the J All Day Show. In today's episode, we're going to break down all the Week 5 games and give our predictions against the spread. We did a little bit better versus the spread last week from the previous weeks. We went 7-1. I didn't get my picks in time for the Thursday night game, but I wanted to get this video out a little bit early for you guys this week so we can include all the games. And remember, there are 4 teams on the bye this week. Let's get into Week 5 picks against the spread. First up, Thursday night, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a blowout win over the Birds. An Atlanta Falcons team that probably should have lost that game versus the Saints. There was a lot of crazy plays like Shaheed fumbling in the end zone that helped them win that game. I like the Buccaneers to cover the 1.5 points. They're getting a lot healthier. The offense is looking better and better. Vita Vea is going to be a huge problem for Kirk Cousins. I mean, Cousins is so stoic in the pocket, he can't move around at all whatsoever. So look for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cover the 1.5 points. Next up, we have the Jets and the Vikings. Remember, this game is in London, so there's no real home field advantage. The Jets are coming off that abysmal performance versus the Broncos in the rain last week, and the Vikings are continuing to roll, man. They're rolling and rolling. They're getting healthier and healthier. Sam Darnold's getting more and more comfortable in this offense. I look for the Minnesota Vikings to cover the 2.5 points. Addison, I love Justin Jefferson. Darnold looks great. I like the Vikings in this spot. Browns at the Commanders. Browns are getting 3 points. The Commanders are absolutely on fire. They're at home. This team looks so unspirited, the Browns, man. Their offensive line is on like their 3rd, 4th, and 5th guys. They don't look too good, in my opinion. I'm going with the Commanders to cover the 3 points. That offense, I think, hums. The Browns' defense is a little banged up. Myles Garrett's feet are killing him, right? Both of his feet have issues. I like the Commanders and Jaden Daniels to cover the 3 points. Next up, we got the Ravens at the Bengals. I'm surprised this line's only at 2.5, so I'm definitely taking the Ravens to cover the 2.5 points. The Bengals defense has been abysmal. This could be a potential shootout situation, but it looks like the Ravens really bunkered down with that defense last week. They dominated the Bills from pillar to post, whistle to whistle. It was a great game for the Ravens. I like that momentum to continue. Even though they are on the road and this is a division game, I think the Ravens can cover the 2.5 points. Buffalo Bills versus the Texans. The Texans are like the most penalized team in the entire NFL, and they're playing sloppy each and every week, right? But I like them at home in this spot. They're getting 1 point. I'm taking the Texans and the points. If they win by 1, you get a push. The Bills didn't look great, and then Josh Allen got pretty banged up in that game. So if the Texans can finally clean it up, they'll be at home. I'm hoping that the penalties will not be in double digits again this week. I'm taking the Texans and plus 1 point. Then we move on to the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. We saw the Panthers really miss Adam Thielen, who's got that terrible hamstring injury. He's out for the foreseeable future. They lost, I think it's Shaq Thompson, their linebacker. Their D-line is dealing with injuries too. This defense just isn't good. I look for the Bears to cover the 4 points. It seems like that offense, they got DeAndre Swift more involved last week. I look for that to continue. If they can get DeAndre Swift rolling and play complementary football, some play action, I like that. Rolling Caleb Williams out of the pocket to find Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. I like the Bears to cover the 4 points. Next up, Colts. Jaguars. The Colts are getting plus 3. I'm taking the Colts and 3 points. The Jaguars are one of the worst teams on 3rd down in the entire NFL. It's been consistent. They've been terrible all 4 of those games. And Josh Hines Allen, their best player on defense, left the game with a concussion. So he's in the protocol. Will he play on Sunday? We'll have to see. If he doesn't play, the Colts are definitely in play at plus 130, and I definitely think they cover this 3-point spread. I like the Colts and plus 3. Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots. This is a game I don't really want to bet on at all whatsoever, but the Dolphins look absolutely lost without Tua, right? So I'm taking the Patriots to cover the 1 point. I think they win this game. The Dolphins look like a shell of themselves. It's really weird. They have all these weapons on offense like Tyreek Hill and Waddle and A-Chain, and They're all underperforming. Without Tua, this team can't win games. I like the Patriots to win a grinding game. It's going to be close. It's going to be within 3 points. I like the Patriots to win this game for sure. Then we have the Arizona Cardinals at the 49ers, 7-point line. The 49ers are getting healthy, right? I do want to see if Fred Warner is going to play in this game. Shanahan gave us some encouraging news that looks like he's going to play. And pretty much the whole band is back minus Christian McCaffrey, but their backup running back is very good. Debo, Ayuk, Jennings, Kittle, this offense is still very formidable. The Cardinals definitely are coming back down to earth. The offense is okay, but that defense is really bad. I think Debo and Ayuk and Kittle ball out, and the 49ers cover the 7 points. Raiders versus the Broncos. I'm taking the Raiders and the points. I think this is going to be, within 3 points. Either way, could be 2 points, 1 point. I think it's going to be a one-score game, a close game. The Broncos, but they had a couple wins this year, but they're all really ugly. That win last week was ugly. Bo Nix only threw for 60 yards. I don't know. Is Devontae Adams going to play? If he doesn't play, I'm probably going to take the Broncos in the points. We'll have to see if Devontae Adams is going to play. There's trade rumors swirling around. Is he going to get traded? I don't know. He's a bit of a diva. I wouldn't want him on my roster. Wherever he goes, it seems to cause problems and issues. I'm not a big fan. I like his game, but I don't like him in my locker room. I'm not bringing in Devontae Adams if I'm a GM in the NFL. I'm letting him rot in Vegas, but I'm going to take the Raiders into 3 points as of now. Next up, we got the Giants and the Seahawks. Neighbors is also in concussion protocol, but he played last Thursday, so he might be ready to play for Sunday. We'll have to see if he is playing in this game. So if he's not playing, I'm definitely taking the Seahawks to cover the 6 points. I think they win outright no matter what. Remember, the Giants have a pretty good defensive line with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, but they have all those weapons on the outside. The Seahawks do, so I expect Geno Smith to play like he did last week very well, get the ball out quick. Geno Smith is fitting balls into really tight windows, man. He's been really impressing me lately. The refs absolutely screwed the Seahawks in that game to let the Lions win twice in that game. The Seahawks should have won that game. They're a very good team, one of the better teams in the NFC in my opinion. I'm going with the Seahawks to cover the 6 points. Packers at the Rams. I'm taking the Packers to cover the points. They look like a team that's on the rise. They almost came back after they were down, 28-0 in that game versus the Vikings. But they showed that intestinal fortitude, man. Those big cojones, and they came back and almost won that game. I like the Packers to cover the 3.5 points versus a very beat-up Rams team. All right, guys. Then we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, the Steelers' offensive line is incredibly banged up, but so is the Dallas Cowboys' defense, right? DeMarcus Lawrence, he's done for the foreseeable future. It doesn't look like Micah Parsons is playing, right? Steelers still have a pretty good defense, even though they're going to be without Highsmith. I guess I'm going with the Steelers to cover the 2.5 points because they're at home. The Cowboys' defense is going to be even worse. I look for the Steelers to establish the run, try to limit the turnovers, and cover the 2.5 points. Then, on Monday night, I'm taking the Saints and the 5 points. Yesterday, it was at 5.5 points. That line's already down to 5. The Chiefs are really banged up, right, guys? So, no Pacheco, no Rashee Rice. That offense is going to be very, very limited in what they can do. I don't expect them to win by a lot of points if they do win. I think the Saints can win this game outright, so I'm definitely taking the Saints to cover the 5 points. Guys, if you're interested, check out the description below for my memberships. There's a little join button. $4.99 a month. You get all my bets, all my Survivor pool picks, exclusive daily fantasy lineups. $4.99 a month. Last week, we crushed a Commanders bet, Vikings bet, and we did a Commanders-Vikings parlay that 5x'd our money. You guys got to get in. It's only $4.99 a month. It's a great way to learn how to bet on games. Check out my strategies. Do them slowly and try to make yourself some cash. If not, guys, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. We're closing in on 9,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning into the content. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.